Down the straightaway they'll come for the first time, and it will be Nigel Maimette and Rob Walker on the front row. Maimette will have the green flag as they work their way down the straightaway. Glad to have you with us here at Willow Springs International Raceway for Porsche Owners Club Racing. It starts now as the field is green flag coming down the straightaway for the first time. And what a good start that we have already as Maimette actually slowly making its way through. Green flag is out. Rob Walker, no surprise here, gets a good jump across the line, and he's going to bring Ryan Moore with him, and we'll see if Moore can keep that second place. No, coming to the outside, I believe that's Kilwani, the 227, as the field works their way around turn number 2. It's Rob Walker opening up a world of hurt already with Ryan Moore sitting there in second place. They're jostling for position right behind him, and you see, looks like Chris McDuff making his way into third. Nick Kilwani up to fourth. So from fifth on back, though, there's lots of side-by-side racing action. And to the inside of Moore is McDuff. You saw that there around turn number 3 as they'll set themselves up for turn number 5. Side-by-side action for the second place. There goes McDuff, so he makes his way up through the field into second place. Let's see if he can chase down the ever-fast Rob Walker. Of course, we know that's easier said than done. Maimette, though, falls back into about 5th place as they work their way out of turn number 5. They'll see him come down that long straightaway-ish, we'll say, for the most part. And Walker, I would say it's a good 10 car lengths already that the 53 has made his way down off of turn number 8 now through 9. And lap number 1 will be in the books with Rob Walker, your leader so far. But as he's in a different zip code at this point, it's going to be Walker ahead of McDuff, 1 and 2. We'll see what the gap is at the line, and it's already 1.7 seconds as Walker lays down a 34.383. McDuff with a 36.084. Still plenty of time to see if these two, actually the battle for second place heats up as Moore tries to go around the inside through turn 1. He's going to go around the outside. One car spun off. That's a huge incident over there, and that's going to be, it looks like Kovac was the one who spun off in turn number 2. You don't normally see cars go to the inside there, and he's going to try and get it going, but Branimir Kovac with a little bit of an incident as he gets that car backed up, and we'll see him try and get back onto the circuit here. But already it looks like that now McDuff has is gotten ahead. McDuff, I said 2.2 seconds ahead to Walker, 2 seconds faster than McDuff, but Moore trying to close there. I think McDuff has finally found that extra gear that he absolutely wanted. Maimette knocking out the door of the podium for 4th place, and Kilhani up to 5th. Lots of great racing here as everybody kind of sorting themselves out, single files. They'll come around that final corner once again. Watch the different lines throughout the race here and see who has, you know, it's not necessarily who has the better line. It's who can capitalize better off of that final corner. As Walker and McDuff still 1 and 2. Ryan Moore not too far away in that 3rd spot as Nigel Maimette sits there in 4th, Kilwani in 5th. Your other class leaders look like this as we scroll down. It's Ted Fretch in GT7, Zoris in GT5, and Momeyer still holding on to about a 2nd lead over Vivek Hazari. So could we see Momeyer at the top of the Spec 2.7 ranks? A long way to go as Pastia Zoris gets up to the fastest lap of the race with a 31.737. First race for them here at Willow Springs this season. Saw David Gold over there as well, making his way through turn number 3. And I've got to say this, McDuff has opened up a bigger gap between he and Ryan Moore, but Maimette, your pole sitter, trying to close in on that 3rd spot. Kilani opening up a bigger gap between Krylo, Haas, and Maslov. That right there is the battle for 6th place. And then you got to go a little ways back to the Robinson-O'Meara battle for 14th. So everything kind of staying steady for the time being. Walker just doing what he can, hitting his marks and getting everything under control, as you see that Krylo and Haas have really opened up a bigger gap between them and Maslov. So Maslov trying to do what he can to stay there in 8th place. O'Meara looking to the inside of Robinson coming off the final corner, but Robinson's so far able to hold off O'Meara as Mike Porteous climbing up through the ranks. It's Kunal Hinduja sitting back there in the 813. There we go, in the gray, silver, and black in number 813. Oh, nice little pass there as Maslov tried to get around Haas for that 7th spot. Krylo opening up a little bit bigger gap, and they're now nose to tail coming off of turn number 5. And let's see what Maslov has for Haas's coming up and down through the roller coaster section. You see behind them as well, it's Adam Abrams and Byron Allen in the 777. That's your battle for 9th place. Is David Cole too far away to try and enter himself in the battle for the time being? But the more that those two race, I think you're going to see that gap shrink. Behind Gold is the Porteous O'Meara battle. 0.8 of a second last time by, and O'Meara trying to do what he can to get on the outside. They're not going to make the pass happen because Porteous is able to easily keep that up in line. While the battle up front has kind of died down, we've got a lot of great battles all throughout the field as everybody trying to find somebody to race with 8 laps to go. By the way, the gap between Walker and McDuff now 3.6 seconds. Maidment has made his way into 3rd place over Ryan Moore for the time being. We'll see how long that battle lasts, as still got plenty of time left to go. You're on board with Moore, and you see he's closing in on Maidment through the turn 2 section. Let's stay on board here for a bit. I love seeing, through this section. It's got to be one of my favorite sections in all the Willow Springs. As you climb to the top of the section, and just fall off right there off of the Budweiser patio. It's all back downhill till you get to the start-finish line and make your way into turn number 1. So around turn number 7 right there. Hit the brakes for turn number 8. Maidment, not sure what happened to him at the start, but falling off the back. That's kind of rough right there, especially when you have a pole ahead of Rob Walker. We all know how that's just easier said than done throughout this race. Little bit of a dust up. You're going to see that here at here, especially with the out west, but around turn number 2, they're working their way around once again. 4 seconds separates Walker from McDuff. As this battle for 3rd, though, really heating up between Maidment and Moore as they come up through turn number 4 once again, down into 5. We're lucky that we're at the point where we can see, we can kind of still see Rob Walker in some of these battles. There's McDuff, Maidment, Moore sitting back there 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Gilani in a race of his own right now, but this battle here that we were watching, also with Krylo, Haas, and Maslov, that's fallen off just a little bit now. Byron Allen losing ground to the battle ahead of him, but he is losing Adam Abrams. Lap after lap, 2.5 seconds separates the two of them. I'm trying to find a good battle. Still got this Porteous O'Meara battle for 12th place, which is quite nice. About a half second separates the two of them. Of course, you got Alicia Ray and Gil Briganti, who are a half second apart as well. Let's see, as Kovac actually just pulled off after that lap 2 incident, so he is done for the day. Let's go on, see if we can go on board with John Momeyer, as right now he is leading Spec 2.7, and looking out at the back, you can kind of see Vivek Azari in the distance, but it's about a 5-second gap between the two of them last time by. We'll see what it is this time by, as he was about 1.2 seconds behind Andrew Wayman, the last running car in Spec Boxster. Let's see here at the line. There's got to be Wayman right there in crossing the line. Indeed it is. So Momeyer is about... not sure what he is, but let's see here. As Momeyer's actually gotten around Wayman, so that's Bob Chang, as Wayman is falling back through the field as well. Not sure what's going on with Wayman, but Hazari has crossed the line. We'll find out, but either way, good day for the president as he makes his way at least one more position on the field, closing in and starting to make his way through the Spec 2.7 field. He's gotten around Wayman. Now he's trying to close in on Bob Chang in the 727. As there's Wayman. So Wayman sitting back there in position. That's Momeyer going around, and indeed it is. Momeyer able to get one more position on the field, as that Spec 2.7 battle is it's gradually increasing. Of course, now he's got to catch up to the Ray Briganti battle, which we saw just up ahead coming through turn number 1. I believe is going to be where they're going to be here in just a little bit, and there they are too. That's actually a whole pack of cars. This is absolutely fantastic. Let's follow them around. I do believe that this is going to be the O'Meara Porteous battle with and we got a yellow over there in turn number 2. Not sure what that's about, but yes, the O'Meara Porteous Robinson battles. Robinson holding off Zoris, and I think Duja's back there too. Scarcello's there. So you've got 6 really good cars right here in battle. Granted, most of them are not going to be for position, as you see Hinduja trying to go around the outside of his Spec Boxster compatriot Karen Robinson, as Zoris now trying to work their way around the Spec Boxster field through turn number 5, and they'll work their way down the back straightaway. Ooh, nice battle here as well between Ray and Briganti. Briganti in that, I'm going to call it the Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen like paint scheme here. Of course, the more that Zoris gets around these cars, the more that Scarcello will have to do the same. Gene trying to get around the 346 of Karen Robinson, and does across the line. Now has about 2 seconds to catch up to Mike Porteous. But here's the thing. You got Zoris running a 35.09. They're both running 35, so it's kind of tough, especially when there's 0.3 of a second separating the two drivers on lap time. You see right there, Zoris working their way through traffic, trying to get around Brian O'Meara in the 184. We've still got Ray and Briganti battling for position now. Zoris is in that blue and orange number 216 in GT5. So Zoris finally clears the traffic, but Scarcello still has Porteous and O'Meara ahead of her. So with about 4 laps to go, 3 at the line, which should be any moment now, that battle is going to be quite interesting. But I think as long as Zora still keeps hitting their marks, it's going to be, it's not going to be that much of an issue. Let's see if we can find the battle for second place between McDuff and Maidment, as Maidment is caught up to McDuff, and it's going to be the 732 white and the 7.5 green as we're working 3 laps to go. I bet you Ryan Moore, the 917, would have a good view of that, as you see the times there at the bottom. And yeah, that's man, the gap has just closed down ever so incrementally each and every lap. It was 2 seconds gap between the second and third place drivers, and Maidment methodically has clawed his way up to the back bumper of Chris McDuff. And it looks like there's the battle right there. And Maidment has actually gotten ahead of there's Ryan Moore. So yeah, Maidment has gotten ahead of Chris McDuff, that second spot, as we saw coming down off of 6, 7, and 8. And for now, Maidment is in second place, but how much longer? They all have got to work their way through traffic, to say the least, but it looks like that McDuff has finally closed in on the 732 as they work their way down the straightaway. 2 laps to go, so not much time for McDuff to make something happen. You have a couple of good passing opportunities as they're heading into turn 1. Now it's going to be through turn 2 in just a little bit of time, as we see about 2 car lengths separate Maidment from McDuff around turn number 2. Walker's just in a different time zone at this point. No surprise here. There's Walker coming around turn 3. And there's your second place battle right there, Maidment and McDuff, as McDuff about 1 to 2 car lengths. So great catch up for Maidment, as he lost 3 spots on that start. Not sure what happened, but he's trying to make his way up. It's obviously too late unless something happens to Walker, which we know is chances of that happening are slim and none. But Maidment looking pretty good for a second place finish here today in race number 1. Of course, they will have their second race a little bit later on today. For those of you who will be standing by, it'll be a 2:30 Pacific green release time, so 12 laps on the docket there. But Rob Walker will be coming across the line here shortly. White flag will be out, 1 lap to go for the field. Does McDuff have enough for Maidment, or can he hold off the 732? Oh, I'll tell you what, looks like McDuff has been really closing in on that 705. It's now down to 1 car length through turn number 2. We'll see how it looks coming out of turn number 2, and McDuff just closing in ever so slightly. He's got the hook out. The line is getting pulled in. Will the sinker happen? Well, we'll find out. There's your leader, Rob Walker, at the line. It was 7.8 seconds, actually 8.2 seconds separating Walker from Maidment, but Maidment doing all he can to make sure that McDuff doesn't get around. Of course, if McDuff gets around or gets any more racing, let's enter into conversation. The 917 of Ryan Moore. Down through turn number 5 they come for the final time today in race 1, as Maidment looks like he's going to have a good stranglehold on that second place, as you saw Rob Walker with a commanding lead coming out of turn number 8, and it's only going to grow by the second. The 53 of Rob Walker, your race winner in the Porsche Carrera Cup North America Masters race at the Grand Prix of Long Beach. Makes it another winning race here at Willow Springs. Checker flag is out. Rob Walker is your winner, and Nigel Maidment will come across the final corner down the straightaway, and he will finish second after running on the pole. Chris McDuff third, Ryan Moore fourth. We got to wait a little bit for Nick Killarney, but this battle here, not much of a battle really for Spec 2.7. As you see John Momeyer making his way down turn number 5. Got a decent sized lead over Vivek Hazari, who really hasn't shown himself too much, but on the track, at least, it looks like Momeyer is going to come away with the win. As you see the gap, that is a big, big gap. So either Hazari's saving something for later, or there's a problem with the 152. He'll have some time. As a little bit of dust getting picked up off that final corner. No harm as drivers are trying to avoid it. Do we have a car off? No car off. They're just trying to avoid the dust, which, yeah, nothing wrong with that as the checkered flag falls on Momeyer. Here's your Spec 2.7 winner. You also have battle for GT7. That, I believe, though, has been cited between Ted Fretch and Randy Bergram. GT5 as Azuris with the win there over Jane Scarcello. So there's your final running order for Spec Boxster. You see Rob Walker, Nigel Maymet, and Chris McDuff rounding out your podium with Ryan Moore and Nick Hillani in your top 5. Ted Fretch over Randy Bergram. It was about 2 seconds, so great race between the two of them. And then take a look at GT5 where we see Aspasizuris and Jane Scarcello rounding out your finishing order there. So lots of close racing in Spec Boxster, and we'll have our podium ceremonies here. Of course, Spec 2.7 we mentioned is the president, John Momeyer, ahead of Vivek Hazari as the cars are coming down pit road. They'll make their way into the paddock. We'll have the podium ceremonies here in just a little bit as the drivers will get out, kind of cool off,